I'm in my 20s now, and I want to build a lot of muscle. Because why? Because we will lose a lot of muscle over time, and it is much harder to build muscle at a certain age. When you go past 40, for example, it will be much harder compared to when you're in 20s. When you're in 20s, it's easily to build muscle. So that's why you want to invest in yourself if you're in 20s, early 20s, to build this muscle so that it can protect you. How to do this is basically to set up an habit. For example, you can, for me, exercise is something that I do that makes me happy because it releases endorphins, and I know how is the feeling after I've done the exercises. How I will feel? I will feel super good. That's why, knowing this thing, I always do this early in the morning, first thing in the morning. And it doesn't have to be hard. It's only 15 minutes. So I set up a timer, 15 minutes. I do this kind of exercise, and I will feel happy throughout the day. And there will be a days where you don't feel like doing it, but you do it anyway because of disciplines, because of the automation that you have from implementing the hobbies. To implement the hobbies is, you first of all, it requires a lot of willpower in the early stage only. After you do it long enough, maybe after 30 to 40 days, it will become automatic, because our brain requires a lot of uses a lot of energy to use this willpower to force ourselves to do that. But after some time, our brains doesn't have to convince us anymore. We don't have to force anymore. We can straight go to the exercise. It become something who you are, something that you do. And going back to the idea of how it can protect you, it can protect you from any impact, from any. I want to tell a story on this. Last time I have a accident. I hit a car, but I'm using a motorcycle, so it should be severe, right? Because I was like stick to the car, pump, and then stick to the car. My body takes the impact, my bike and my body. But after I look back at it, I don't have major injuries. Part of the reason is my muscle. I think my injuries was on my legs, and I know I've been working out my legs pretty much every day. I do a lot lunges, a squat, and for weight training I also do something like deadlifts, calf raise. So that's why I think this what helps me. This muscle has become a shield to me so that I don't get hurt. I don't get into much more serious injury. That's what I think. And after that accidents, right, the motivation for me to build more muscle has become much more important. I want to build it more. I want to have a lot of this muscle. I think of it as an investment. And that's why I think when you're in your 20s, you have to take this opportunity to build your muscle. Don't let it get weakened over time. First of all, you don't only lose it, it becomes weaker over time. That's something that inevitable, but we have to accept it. And what we can control now is, if you're in your 20s, get into the work, start doing this exercise. And if you maybe 30 or 40s, you can still do it to maintain it, the muscle that you have. Maybe it will becomes harder for you to build a new muscle, but if you don't do anything, the weakening is become much more faster. But instead, if you working out also, you try to exercise anyway, what happens is you maintain the muscle that you have, and that muscle that you have, treasure it, and it won't betray you. Something that won't betray you. It's investment for your body. That's all from me. Thank you.